Okay. I was too excited. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our panel, Sharing XP, the creative process for TTRPG book design and layout here at Big Bad Con 2024. We are going to talk about how to translate the concept of a TTRPG book into visuals. I'm the moderator, Flávia Ramalho, she, her pronouns, and here we have Cris, our panelist. First, we'd like to let you know that we are Brazilians, so if we say something strange, bear with us. You'll be able to understand what we are saying through context, okay? Also, you can ask questions in chat, and I'm going to select some to ask Cris while she's presenting, so don't wait until the end to ask them. Now, Cris, go ahead and tell us more about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here at Big Bad Online again. So I'm Cris. I am she, her pronouns. I'm a graphic designer specialized in book design and typography. I have worked with many different kinds of books. So I have done novels and technical books and learning books. And now I'm working mainly in TTRPG books. I'm now the lead graphic designer at Evil Hat, and I'm also working with other projects as Confluence TTRPG that we have a panel earlier, and we are doing amazing books there. And I'm also a graphic designer at BitBetCon, so if you have seen the posters and the booklets and the badges, everything, it was me. From the last couple of years, I'm working with them as well. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Cris. I'm a little bit biased, but I think everyone here will enjoy hearing Cris talk today. She's an amazing professional and an amazing person. As for me, I'm Flávia Ramalho, and I'm a Brazilian literature graduate student who plays a lot of RPGs since 2020. I've worked with TTRPG books as a translator, and I'm a huge fan of Thirst for Lesbians, and I'm able to talk about it nonstop. Cris knows.
Yeah, I can follow her on this.
Yeah. Now, everyone, grab a cup of tea to drink with us. And Cris, please begin our conversation about the creative process behind a TTRPG book.
Okay. Um, like there's a lot to talk about when we talk about layout for TTRPGs and design for TTRPGs. But as we have less than an hour, we are going to focus more in this process of taking the blank page and the Word document with the book and transforming this in a TTRPG books. How is this process to just a concept to creating visuals for this product? Like the process between the process can vary between the companies I work in. So this process that I will show you is mainly the one that I use at Evil Hat, and we are always developing it more and modifying it to fit our needs better. So as graphic designers, we will have lots of different kinds of works, and they can vary in thematic and mood a lot. So I like to think about this process as if I am learning how to I'm learning a new language. Like sometimes you will receive that project that is totally your vibe, it's totally your jam. You know how to speak this language. you know the vocabulary. You're just like, I'm going to dive more into it and expand your vocabulary and see more stuff. Sometimes it's something that you are not familiar with, and you have to learn everything from the beginning. So vocabulary, everything. I will show you 2 projects that I'm working at Vivohead. They are in process, in different stages of the editorial process, but they are like Stillpot. That is a game really cute and wholesome about your like what happens after your D&D group, your Pathfinder group, your group finally kills the main evil guy. And okay, let's retire, open our tavern, why not? And so it's a really cozy game. And I'm also gonna show you Project Perseus, that is like a super spy games against the dark evil forces of the supernatural. So totally different vibes. The project, they all will start in the same way. Like, we are going to receive the book as a document, and we are going to have a conversation with the author. I always recommend to read the part of the book that explain what is the game, at least this, but most of the times I ended up reading everything. But read the initial part of the book and go talk to the author. When I talk to the author, I will always like to know how was their inspirations for the book, inspirations for creating that TTRPG, and especially visual references. So one thing that I can tell you is that if the author or the client, whatever, tells you, I don't know what I want, you can do whatever you please. This is awesome, this is great. But normally people always have a visual in their heads. Like, and it's good to like to dive into it and like, no, let's talk about it a little more, and you will find, eventually you'll find their preferences. I'm gonna show you, like, this is a mood board that I am doing to every project that I'm starting at Vivohead. For Stillpot, they sent me some references that they find that were in the same mood of the book. And I get all these references they sent to me, and I start making this. I start to analyze it, like what I find here that I like, or that I think I will use this on the book. So, for example, here you can see like these pages that we don't have a totally white background. The images are very organic. It's not just a square. So I start to see this. Sometimes I make notes. Sometimes I just like think with myself what I'm seeing. You can see like we have different shapes with the illustration, sometimes round, sometimes just like we have a background, but the background is not squared. But other references had this frame. We see illustrations that are full color, black and white. I start to notice the typography they are using on this book, the kind of elements like these borders. I noticed some of the colors they are using, so I can start thinking about a color palette for it. And you see that I'm always like doing this kind of notes here, because in the beginning I did this for myself, like just to make like organize ideas. But now I share this with the author and whatever other member of the team that are in this process. So it is, I think this is something that I will do for every work, because this is a good way to align the expectations with the author. Like, I can show them what I am enjoying from these works, and they can say back to me like, oh yeah, this is cool, or nah, I don't think so, I didn't really dig into it, I don't know. So I start to align what they are saying they like, and the things that I enjoy in this projects that I'm analyzing here. So I, as a book designer, I have this, like, I can buy books, right? There is no problem if I buy a more and more book, even if I don't have more space for them, because it's for work. So I take lots of pictures of books that I already have here, and I start to see details that I like. In showing what you like in each one of those images is really important, because like the same two different person can look at the same picture and see different things. Like I can enjoy the shapes and you can enjoy the colors, and they are totally different, right? So it's really important to show what you like about it. Then after that, I start to dive more into specifics. Like I start doing a type research, and like the author can come here and start like doing some notes about what they like.
So, Chris, even when they don't don't know how to say to you, oh, I like this or that, when they are looking at the mood board, they have a lot of different
Yeah,
types, and then they start to see like, oh, I don't like this, and oh,
yeah. It's easier, like to not everybody has the same ways to visualize stuff in their heads. Like there are studies about it. Like myself, I can see colors and textures and three-dimensional things in my head, but sometimes people don't have this wide range of how to imagine stuff. So we have to show them like, this, do you like this? So it will help a lot on this process. Here I started also to work on color palettes, and like you can see that they are really similar to each other with some differences, but like here the author said, yeah, pink I like. So I was okay, I didn't know what to choose, but now that the author pointed out the one that they liked a lot, I'm going with it. And these color palettes, I generally I use some color palette sites. This color, it's really good to do this. But after I do, when I get it into InDesign, I will probably tweak it a little bit just to be more legible. Depending how you use the color, you have to change it a little bit, because if you use it as a background within a whole page, is this one thing. When you use on I don't know, header, it's another way to apply the color, so it will need a little tweaking, but it's fine. Yeah, so this is the mood board for Steel Pot. I also had this space here that I was just going with vibes. So it was just images that goes with this imaginary of the game, right? And some words that I use just to put myself in this particularly mood and way to think about the project.
So, Chris, we have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any project that you worked on and felt a little stuck and then came up with a great idea that worked perfectly for the project idea?
This happens, but not like, it's not something that will be from great proportions. Like it's not the whole project. Sometimes you have to think about a solution for a specific thing, like, oh, I have to display the boxes of the book in a way that I think that it is visually good and also readable. So you try different shapes and different ideas and nothing works. And coming back to this mood board normally will get me where I want to go. Like, because we do this in the beginning, then we start to go further from it, right? And when you have some difficulties in the process, go back to it. Look again at your references. Sometimes you can continue some research, but focusing on the specific thing that you need to solve, because um, editorial projects, book projects will have lots of different small things to for you to solve in the whole thing, you know. I hope I answered your question, but it's like how I do this.
I think you nailed it.
Any other questions, or I will go dive into Project Perseus?
No other questions right now.
Okay.
Maybe later.
Please go and send your questions, because sometimes it's good to like ask when I'm showing stuff, then I can go back and zoom in and tell you more about each thing I am exhibiting here, because it is a chunk of information here. But so, Project Perseus. So it's this super spy game against supernatural, and they are setting in like 80s, 90s. So we have this kind of super spice technology, but it's on the 80s and 90s. So it's not a technology that is so advanced. Maybe advanced for the time, but for us, not anymore. So for this project, I started to research about some movie posters and some series as well, because here I will see like colors and typography and how are the images displayed. So I have lots of information in each one of them. So as we have this this mix of spy and supernatural, I went to both directions, and like I start to see typography. We have this like bold and heavy typography. Sometimes we see some italics. We see some colors, like 007 has this color palette that is really particular for it, but is everybody remembers this black and white and red color palette from 007. Here we have like this Die Another Day italics. Sometimes we have like something really particular, like Nikita has this kind of punk vibe. And then I went to the supernatural, and like something really interesting here that is that we always see the supernatural with some kind of this flowing energy that is very smoky, sometimes shadowy, sometimes this kind of twigs surrounding the main character, like hands that are trying to catch him. So this is going to be seen furthermore. Like Lost Girls, well, we have this kind of flowy smoke.
It's very nice to see how different are the references from Stillpot and Project Perseus, you know.
Yeah.
Stillpot were more like book references and nature, you know, old houses and stuff like that. And here we have a lot of movies, you know,
Yeah.
and TV series.
Yeah.
I see
Like,
some games there also.
oh yeah, I did a lot. I put some Carmen San Diego book because it was part of my childhood and my teen years. So yeah. Um, but like sometimes I see people saying like, "Oh, the style of this graphic designer." Like, yeah, we have a style. I will put because yeah, we have a style, but we have to always be adapting for the different kinds of projects that we are working on. Like, I cannot maintain the same style that I have in Steelpot and go to Project Perseus. Like, I will probably maintain my ideals of what is good type, what is readable content, how I make um, the pages, like the structure will be there, but the graphics, you'll see they are completely different. So as we have this kind of technology about this game, I was researching it. Some of this I have seen. I'm not proud of it. I wish we get older and things are getting vintage. So we have some old cell phones, this kind of computer with the green screen, this kind of folders with confidential information that is super the vibe of spice, redacted text, some typewriting information, floppy disks, highlighted text.
People don't know what these are.
We will have to like do side notes. What is a floppy disk? How do you use it? What is this paper with this hole? How you use it? But well, yeah. I started making this type research as well. Like I find a website that they list the fonts that were used on the 80s and 90s. So I was like getting the most uh, the ones that I thought that were really strong at the era. I started also to make a suggestion about the lettering for the game, that I was like aiming to that very heavy and powerful fonts and letter shapes, with some bit of italicized um, shape. So this is the one we have right now. The fonts that I was looking was Helvetica, obviously. That it was trendy in the 80s. It is still trending again and again. Um, some more traditional fonts, others like more pixelized typewriter as well. I was like thinking about the color palette. I was like really into this black, white, and red color palette that we have in 007. And I was thinking, okay, if 007 was something supernatural, probably we would have another color instead of red. So maybe the cyan, we can have this spectre vibe, or purple or magenta, because magenta is great and it's really fun to work with.
I love magenta also.
Yeah. This part over here is something that I think it's important, because like when I have the book document, I always like to check the structure of that document. Like all TTRPGs will have chapters, and I want to know like what is being told in each one of these chapters. For Steelpot, we have like mainly two parts. The first part will be like some chapters about the game, about how you play it, how you do your character, how you build your tavern. And the second part will be the mini games. On Project Perseus, the structure is a bit more complex. Like we will have this initial part with the introduction, how to play, the overview of the game. Then we will go more specific to the characters you can play, and like the operators and the agents, the landmarks, everything. So I was like, I really want to do like different layouts for each part of the book, so you can like see what you are reading. And I started to think, oh, landmark can be something like a postcard. Maybe I can do the agents with this kind of top secret folders. Maybe I can do something with this um, like investigation board. Maybe I can do the moves like it's a user guide. So I was like doing this research, and also obviously something like very creepy and supernatural with this alchemist circles and the magical symbols. And I also started like making some sketches about how I'm imagining the logo for the agency, because it's an agency, it's a company. They also always have a logo, but they are supernatural also, so they probably have something to protect themselves from evil. So I do this as like this sigil.
Cris, do you think because talking about Project Perseus, the project has two sides, like the super agent side and the supernatural side, you know? And do you think sometimes it's difficult to merge these two worlds, as an example, here, but in other projects as well?
Like I start to how can I say this? But as a TTRPG player, I start to make this little history in my head, how things work. How like the book will tell me a lot of stuff, but also, okay, this is a book about this agency. The stuff in there is the real content about what you have to do. So I start to make those histories in my head to make it work. So as I did this one right here,
Like you were playing, right?
yeah, like, oh, if I am within an agency, they probably have a logo to put on official papers and stuff, but it is also supernatural, so it can be like this magic circle. So maybe this can be like tattooed on the agent so they can be protected in some way. So yeah, my mind goes wild when I'm doing this. I'm going to start showing you the results of these mood boards. So you will be able to see exactly like the elements that we were seeing on the mood board. We will see them here. So still pot. Remember that I saw the pages that were not totally white. I used some little color on the background. The typography also were on that area of handwriting stuff. Like here we have this table of contents that will follow the layouts on the pages ahead. Like the introduction, your tavern, create your characters, and playing the game will always be orange, and mini games will be green. So the way I said that I like to divide the different parts of the book so you can find it easily just opening it. I'm the kind of person that don't use a table of contents, but I really like to make table of contents, but I don't use it in the end. I always will open the book and find the book by the graphics. Yeah, this is me.
Like you said before, people have different ways of yeah. I'm the kind of person that uses the table of contents, so thank you for putting it there.
Yes, I will start to show it a little bit faster because we are like almost within our time. But like the typographies we saw, we will have like opening images on these pages. Like remember I saw some some drop caps on the references I was researching. Yeah, I use them. I saw lots of this kind of frames in the pages, and I was really, oh my god, I want to do a frame. And in this case, I made the frame, I illustrated it, but you don't need to be like an illustrator to make this kind of project. You can like buy assets, and you can like use them to make the page.
Cris, we have another question. It's about fonts. If you have an idea of what kind of font you want from your mood board, where do you go to find the actual font you use?
Yeah, we have some places that you can buy fonts. Like I normally go to the Adobe service that is the Typekit, Adobe Typekit. That if you have the Adobe license, you have a font catalog that you can use. Another good place to get fonts is in Google Fonts. Google Fonts, they are all free to use, so it's a really good place to get. And you also can use them in digital materials that you are going to develop within your game. So it's another good place to get. And Creative Market is also another place that is awesome to buy fonts. And Creative Market also have like this kind of graphic assets. Like if you want, oh, I want a set of different paper textures because I want to do this kind of stuff. I don't know, whatever you think about, the Creative Market will have it. It is awesome. Like people do lots of amazing stuff for you. So, but there is a price in each product, but they are accessible prices. They are not so difficult to get. So you can see here also the way that I'm using the images. I use the squared, the black and white also.
Cris, how do you choose the illustrations to buy? Someone asked.
Depends of what you mean about illustrations, but like the illustrations of the book at Evil Hat, normally I will lay out the whole book and I will leave spaces for the images to be commissioned. And like we hire art director. The art director will also get to that mood board and see things and pass it on to the illustrator. So it is something that we commission. For the graphic assets for the book, if you need something to, like, I don't know, oh, I want some images of beautiful drop caps that I want to put in the book, I would recommend Creative Market. But there are lots of websites that you can buy them, but Creative Market is, I always end up there finding stuff that I really need. And here for the part of the mini games, we have some kind of like menu, and we can see like the ingredients that we have. That is part of the idea of the games. Like the bean is the ones that are for the beginning of the game. The pumpkin is the ones that are more prompts and role play. So you can choose what you want to eat. And like for the other pages, I was like trying to make a layout that is easy to find the game. So I have the name of the game on the side. So if you can open it and you can pass the pages, you see the name quickly. And like this game has a structure that for each 3 games, the third game will be wear and tear. That is like the part of the game that you gain XP to upgrade your tavern and stuff. And like as you are going back to this page more than one time, I made it in a different color. So it is in this little pink, so you can find it easy as well. The images also follow the image that we saw on the mood board. So the mood board turned into something that was like just for me, then was just for me and the author, then it was for the whole team in the end. So it's something that we are like using a lot.
And that's other kinds of illustration, right?
Yeah. Like I was really into the idea that we can use different ways to display the images, and it will give like a flow to the pages. um, let's see now. Project Perseus. That is completely another thing. um, so this is not the final cover, and the project is on process as well, so probably we will change some stuff in the process. But here you can see like this kind of, I did this effect that is something like uh, an old screen that you can see these distortions. We can see this flowy energy that is this kind of strange vibe in the magical circle by but also a logo of the agency. This will be the openings for the chapters. So each one have this introduction text. So this introduction text was, okay, I can do this like document from the agency, and we have the logo and the name, and they start writing with the stamp with confidential. So very spy vibes here.
But the stamp is magenta.
Yeah, obviously. So here for the text pages, I was like, okay, we can have this kind of this energy. There's trying to reach for the content, and something is protecting it in some way. And so I added some of that strange signs and glyphs in some kind of language we don't really know. I did some the page number is like a register number, not just a page number, but it's a page number. Like you can see that's number 4 and number 5, but it is in a different way to display it and give more into the vibe of the game. Also,
Chris,
all fonts.
sorry.
It's okay.
Someone asked, what kind of considerations do you have when laying out books for print, such as page size, font size, margins, etc.? How much of this is decided by you versus the author or company in your experience?
In my experience, these technical decisions are all up to me. In Evil Head specifically, as we have like Fred, that is also a graphic designer, and myself, sometimes we like talk to each other, and they give me some hints like, oh, be careful with the space between the pages, because like when you print a book, the space within the pages, they will like they have this curve of the book, and sometimes they will some details that we have will disappear, and it is also not good to like have the typography like curving into the inside of the page, you know. So we are always talking to each other to get this kind of technical stuff, but mainly is the graphic designers will have a say on this and will choose this. Sometimes the author can like say, oh, I don't think this font is very good, or maybe I think this font is not so readable, and it's okay. Like we like when we talk about readability, we are always like trying to read stuff ourselves and also realize that, okay, but if someone has some more difficulties and to see and read stuff, I need to give more contrast. I need to make this font a little with like, I have to make this font a little clearer. So we are always seeing if we can read, and also imagining that some other people can have difficulties, and how can we solve this. So if an author says to me, oh, I can read this font, I will obviously change it. Like it's no, there is no discussion here, right? Like, yeah, someone has a difficulty with this, probably other people will also have. So I think it's this, how we handle this. Mostly designers will have a say on this. Okay, so let me see. I will pass some pages here, but you can see like I started to make some options of how can I display a box, how can I add some images. For the agents and the moves, I was like, okay, I can follow that idea about the manual. And here it is a bit like someone used this manual a lot, so we have some defects on it. So the layout changed a little bit, but like you can see that the fonts that I'm using are the same. So I don't have to create a lot of different paragraph styles for each one of the parts, but it is completely different. And these are the characters that you can play. And I followed the idea of the folders with the information. And I think it was, I really like the how it is displayed.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I have this idea like to showcase their points, like their attributes in a different way. So we have this kind of pentagram. We will see the difference between this and the operator. Here also a way to display images. Like, yeah, you can put the image on a square box and put it on your book, but if you like make a special way to put this image, I think it gives more personality to the book. Also the operator moves, and here we have like a coffee stain, because like operators, they don't go to field, they stay on a van, or they stay on the base.
So you're using, yeah. So you're using different elements, to different parts of the book.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm have to pass it a little faster because like our time is almost there. But like here on the attributes of the operator, we have like this systemic way to showcase it. So to show that they are different kinds of characters for you to play. We have the landmarks that I used the idea of the postcards. So these postcards, I don't know, maybe we can also do this for the crowdfund as something that you can have as an actual postcard. It would be awesome. But here, like, I think the idea is just great. Like, I really enjoy how this page turned out. And for the enemies, I was like, oh my God, I want to do this kind of investigation board. But like, how can I do this in multiple pages? And I was like trying. And I think I get to a point that I'm okay with it. Like it works. So I was really into doing these pages because I can do some kind of like these little drawings here. It's something from my mind, and I think that gives like some information for you to like dive into the mood of the game. It's not something that you need to use on the game, but just to get you to the feeling of the game. Yes, that's it. Okay. we get it.
Nice. Do you want to conclude what you were saying for us?
Yeah, let's get to our conclusions, right? We have just 5 minutes. So what I want to show you within all of this stuff that I'm showing to you today is that we have lots of different ways to work, and we always be adding and improving. Sometimes different clients will need different ways for you to work, but the most important is that you need to build your own process. Like we cannot and we don't live on inspiration. We cannot be like waiting for it to come to us. So because we are visual communicators, we have to research and translate the information, the content into visuals in the end. And having a process that you can rely on will help you get out of this place of anxiety that most of our like fellow creatives get in sometimes. You are laughing, right? Yeah, I know. So follow the process and you will eventually get what you need to do. You eventually find an answer to that project. So when you ask it like sometimes we get stuck. Yes, we get stuck. But if you follow the process, we have this place to return and like, okay, I will review it again and I will get an answer. So go back to the mood board, see everything again, do some more research, and okay, now I will try this other idea that I have now, and it will go. We will get an answer.
So, Cris, thank you so much. And here we have it. That's it for our panel today, unfortunately. Time is short, but we hope you liked it, learning more about Chris's creative process and are able to apply some of her ideas on your own work. If you want to find me elsewhere, I'm at Twitch at Vinhar, which spells Vinhaar. Playing some video games and occasionally playing RPGs like the one in Cris and I are playing together. We have a game of Star Forge that we didn't finish yet, but we're going to. You can find some books I worked on as a translator, but just in Brazilian Portuguese, such as Blue Rose and The Expanse RPG. And maybe you'll see me more in the future working on other RPG projects. Who knows? Evil Hat, hire me, nice. And also, if you want some shit posts in Portuguese, you can find me on Twitter at Vinhar. Now, Cris, tell me where we can find you and some of your projects that are coming out and you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, thanks everyone. You can find me almost in any social media as Cris LV. You can see here on my screen, and mostly on Twitter. We have like on Everhead, we have lots of amazing projects happening right now. So on April, we are going to have on the 16th, Still Pot Crowdfund will start. This book is so cute, and every time that I saw an illustration of it, I'm completely in love with it. So go to BackerKit, sign up to have the notifications when it started. We also have the Tomb Raider TTRPG that are soon will be in open playtest. So go there and sign up for this. It is really fun. And I'm also working on Confluence TTRPG that will open playtest as well next month. So go check it out. This team is amazing. The game is so much fun. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So go check it out. You can follow me on Twitter. I will probably post about all these projects in the future. So yeah, I see you there.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
I think we have 1 minute just to be there.